We are at the end of the 2029 season, October 2nd, 2029. The Phillies finished in second place at 102-60, 7 back from the powerhouse Padres. Second best team in the majors. The Nats had 99 wins, as did, of course, the Baltimore Orioles. Expanded standing-wise was a much better picture for us. Plus 327 run differential. The next best were the Padres at plus 268. I don't know why we're getting a little circle thing there. Maybe we're about to get an update pop up in the bottom right corner. So we were minus 10 to our Pythagorean. Our deserved was 112, which is just, 6 games better than the Padres, which is the next best team, and no other team was over 97. We were the best team in the league by a wide margin. The standings just didn't show that, mainly because we were unlucky in one-run games. We went 19-25 despite having the best bullpen in the National League and I think the majors. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes the sequencing of events in a game and the time when base hits happen and when base hits don't happen and when errors happen and blah, 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 blah. Sometimes over the course of a season, the sequencing isn't kind to you. And it wasn't kind to the Phillies. If our sequence of events of when all those things happened were better aligned for us as opposed to our opponents, we would have had a better record that we kind of, in a way deserved. But what happened was 102 wins. That's what happened. That's where we are. We'll face the Nats in the first round, which is going to be a tough matchup. I'll show you it in just a minute. So let's go look at the team. Let's go by WRC plus. Sure. Drew Gray led the way, but he only had 5 plate appearances because he's a pitcher who was a two-way player until he got here. So Culberson leading the way with 5.3 WAR and a 158 WRC plus. Now, one thing I wanted to check before I started this video is see how he so I don't have a filter set for qualified hitters. I had it in my old one, so it looks like he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in the league in WRC plus, which isn't bad at all. So he's a superstar level player. His WAR is only 5.3 because he's a DH. He doesn't get any he's not accumulating any WAR from being in the field. Mike Anthony Valdez, 134 games, 4.9 WAR, 142 WRC plus. He went yard 34 times. He walked in 17.7% of his plate appearances. Culberson, by the way, walked in 19.6% and only struck out in 7.9. This guy is a stud, man. 7th round pick from 2025. Cornelius Randolph, 4 WAR, 135 WRC plus. Now, Juan Soto, he only played in 119 games because of injury, 541 plate appearances, put up a 131 WRC plus and 3.4 WAR. Soto has been an all-star level player for me since I brought him in. Obviously, the year 2025, he was a beast. He won MVP. Since then he was hurt a lot in 27, 28 and 29, and then or 27 and 28. I was looking at his age. 2027 and 2028, and then 2029 a similar season. He's an all-star level player for me, perennial all-star. I was hoping he'd be perennial MVP, which I think he turns out to be in a lot of sims. I was hoping he would hit like 40 home runs a year for his first 7 or 8 years and make a run at the home run record. He's only 30, so if he went on a run, he could still do it because he does have 366 plate appearances or home runs. If he were to play till he's 40, 41 and pick the home runs back up, he could make a run at the record. But it's been a little disappointing because, again, I was hoping he'd be a perennial MVP candidate, whereas he's more just a perennial all-star for me. But he's still capable of becoming MVP candidate. I know he's 30, but he could still do it. Manny Machado, he only played in 46 games because of the injury, but he put up a 128 WRC plus. He put up 1.2 WAR. Manny just hasn't really slowed down that much. Of course, he had a bit of a down year in 2028, but he was back up in 2029, of course, in a smaller sample of games. He'll turn 38 next July. He's got, 2 years left? Yeah, the team option. 1 more year and then the team option, which I'm sure I'll exercise just because I'm sentimental. Caleb Ford, awesome rookie season. 34 bombs, 90 RBI. This is in just 140 starts. He had a 120 WRC plus. He put up 4.5 WAR. He was really good at second base because of that 70 range. Just an outstanding rookie season from him, which is good because, and he might not be sustainable, right? This contact might come back to haunt him, but he's got such a good glove that his bat really doesn't have to be nearly as good as it was for him to be a useful player for us. Bryce Harper, he trailed off a little bit, down to a 114 WRC plus, which is actually the same as last year. He played in fewer games. I sat him some against lefties. I think he missed a little bit of time with like a day-to-day injury, sat out like a week or two. But pretty similar to last year, honestly. And, man, at like age, he's going to be 37 in October. Like, we'll take this all day from Bryce. You can see righties, he had 512 plate appearances. Against lefties, he had 117. He had just a 71 WRC plus. So he's becoming more and more of a platoon guy. You can see he's still really good against righties. And, I think I'll continue. I think he started I think his backup in right field against lefties played like every fourth or fifth day. I think I'll probably continue that moving into the future, or maybe even make it, every second or third game Bryce sits against lefties. And Ed Milam, our backup outfielder, pinch hitter, he kind of trailed off a bit, but not bad for a rookie season, a 107 WRC plus. He had 14 home runs and 237 plate appearances. I'm an Ed Milam fan. I'm an Ed Milam fan for sure. Ali Sanchez, really solid league average bat as a really good catcher. Pache, he trailed off. He was having a better offensive season, but he still put up 3.8 WAR with a league average bat because he's still an elite defender. He put up 16 zone rating, plus 16, and a 1064 efficiency. Like he's probably going to win the Gold Glove again. He's already won 4 with seasons that weren't even as good as that one. Romo was fine. Willy Adames, I kind of knew this was going to be the case with Willy as he got to the second half of his contract, which is why I didn't want to go 4 years on him, but I did to keep him for that first year or two. He's got a player option for next year for $24 million. I would be shocked if he declined that. So his bat's getting pretty bad, but he's 18% worse than league average at the bat, but he's still 2.2 WAR, which is a bit above league average because his glove is still good. It's not amazing, but it's good. 7.4 zone rating. He's a really good defender still. And then Pantoja, nothing too special. 63 WRC plus, 0.1 WAR. I guess that's worse than not too special, but we really hope that his glove can carry him. He did somehow put up a negative 0.8 in zone rating, but it was only in 17 games, so pretty small sample. That can happen. So the shortstop out of Iron River, Michigan, I think has a brighter future. I think I think his bat can be better than this, even if it's going to be worse than league average. Pitching side of things, Trevor Rogers has got to win the Cy Young, I think. 6.4 WAR, 6 WAR, 2.79 ERA, a 2.76 FIP, and struck out 11.2 guys per 9. Just an absolute machine. Jacob Matan with 4.5 WAR, 4.3 R WAR, put up a 3.27 ERA. He was great. Carter Daniels is a really nice story this year. He pitched 132 innings last year for us. This year he really stepped it up. Our 14th round pick from 2021. 3 WAR, 3.8 R WAR, put up an ERA of 3.48. He struck out 10.7 guys per 9, a 19.7 strikeout to walk percentage. He looks like he's a really solid starting option for us. Shearing came over in his 36 innings with us. He put up a 2.23 ERA. Josh Ward, what a rookie year out of the bullpen. Made the All-Star team, pitched 129 innings as our long man, 2.4 WAR, 4.4 R WAR, 1.81 ERA, 3.26 FIP. Just awesome. And he's a starting option if we need him to be. Kyle Mott put up 2.4 WAR in 83 innings. Binderup came over and put up a 3.07 ERA in 44 innings for us. Not quite as dominant as we hoped, but good. Hearn was excellent with a 2.85 ERA. Karsten came back up and into our rotation and really reestablished himself. He ended with a 4.17 ERA and a 4.11 FIP, both which are just a little bit better than league average. But I'm under batting stats. Look at this one run he went on, though. Here's 6 1/3 shutout, then 6 innings shutout, then 6 innings shutout, then 4 innings, and he got pulled with a minor injury shutout. And they gave up 2 runs in 6 innings, and then came back with 6 2/3 shutout innings, and then didn't give up more than 4 runs in any start. So he got called back up, right here, and he had a rough start, and his ERA was 6.82, and he got it down to 4.17. His ERA from August on was just, I'm sure, great. September he got roughed up a little bit, but 1.56 in 34 innings in August, 5.25 in September. But a really good bounce back and good to see him. I think he reestablished himself as kind of like a back end of the rotation type of guy for us, possibly. Duvall was solid. Mason Fox, a bit of a down year, but his FIP of 3.01 was much better than his ERA of 4.12. Jason Diaz, he struggled a bit. 5.0 ERA and a 5.02 FIP, both of which are about 10% worse than league average. So he definitely struggled. Drew Gray, he put up 0.8 WAR. He only pitched 74 innings, but he really wasn't. He put up 2 R WAR, though. That's what I was trying to say. Words wouldn't come out because he put up a 3.15 ERA, but a 4.31 FIP, which is still better than league average by 6%. ERA plus is 44% better than league average. So had much better results than maybe his FIP suggests he should have had, but looks like a really solid bullpen arm for us. Info-wise, we are second in the NL in runs scored, second to the Nationals, second in on base, first in home runs, first in base on balls, first in extra base hits, first in ERA, second in starter ERA, first in bullpen ERA, first in runs allowed. BABIP we're 5th. Efficiency we're only 7th. Zone rating we're only 4th. It's not quite as good in the field this year. You can see August was very kind to us, 20-8, but just above 500 in September, 14-13. So, what do the playoffs look like? Good question. The O's play the Astros. Sox play the Sox in the AL. Mets get the Padres, and then we get the Nationals. So the Nats are a really good team. First in runs scored. They have the best offense in the league. This is just a dynamite offense. Now, their weakness is their pitching. They were 7th in runs allowed. The bullpen ERA was 10th. Their starter ERA was 6th. Their defensive efficiency was 10th. Zone rating 5th. The end of the year really hot. They went 19-8 in September. They're much hotter than us. They're led by 2 superstar players. Just absolute superstars in Humberto Camacho, who put up 7.6 WAR. This is a guy they signed in 2021 as an international free agent. I'm pretty certain he might have been one of the guys who rejected me. And then Luis Garcia, who is a real-life Nationals prospect, put up 7.2 worth a 140 WRC plus. So he's basically, these 2 guys are just awesome. Errol Vera, also good, who they got from the Angels in a trade. He put up 4.1 WAR, a lot of it glove-based, but a very good player. They've got Freddie Freeman, who's still doing his thing. Robles is a good center fielder. Chris Bryant is their DH, interesting. So this is a solid team with, they've got a couple superstar-level players. So let's see what their rotation looks like. So it looks like their number 1 starter won't be good to go here for game 1. So it'll be Sam McWilliams, who put up 4 WAR with a 4.11 ERA, a 3.86 FIP. So he looks like a pretty good control pitcher who they signed as a free agent and then has gone on to be decent for them. So 1 year, $3 million. I'd say that deal worked out for them. This is their number 1 starter, Berlin Marquez, that they signed as a free agent. Man, they signed a couple of free agents who were kind of like journeyman type guys for cheap deals, $5.2 million. And they turned into studs for him. Good for you, Nationals. Good for you. Sixto Sanchez is here. K. Paju is our guy who we traded, one of our guys who traded in the Soto trade. Of course, Alec Boehm, the main piece in that trade, isn't here anymore. He's off playing in San Diego after he won the NL MVP last year. So that's what the Nats look like. Let's look at some league leaders real quick. You can see Camacho led the league in hitting. We've got Randolph up here, 5th in home runs with 42. None of our guys are up here in RBI. Who is this Polanco guy? Ronnie Polanco. Yeah, he's a real-life player. I think I've heard of him. Maybe not. He's like an international free agent signed in 2019 by the Diamondbacks, but he looks like he's turned into a stud for them. Let's see. Culbertson led the league in on-base percentage. Not surprising. He was 5th in OPS. Our man Ken Gieske leading the league in WAR with 8.4. Randolph 5th in runs. Base on balls, Culbertson and Valdez, number 2, Soto, number 6. Soto was 6th, even though he missed like a month of the season. That's kind of crazy. Let's see. Weighted plate appearance or win probability added. Culbertson's up there. In Wobo. So Culbertson was our best hitter. You can see that. One of the better hitters in the league. All right. ERA, Rogers was 3rd. Wins, Matan was 5th. WAR, Rogers was 2nd. And Matan was 5th. No one in innings because I have pretty strict innings limits. Strikeout to walk ratio, our guy Trevor Rogers is there. Ks per 9, our guy Trevor Rogers is there. Walks per 9, Rogers is there. I mean, he's second in the league in strikeouts per 9, second in the league in walks per 9. Good Lord, that's a good pitcher. Third in ERA plus, fourth in RWAR, first in FIP. So you can see it's kind of an innings thing because he led the league in FIP, but he was only fourth in RWAR because he didn't accumulate enough innings. Because I had him pitch 177 innings because I limit him to like 90 pitches. I do that to protect my pitcher's health and to keep the computer from leaving them in too long. So that's the team. That's the league. Bring on the Nats. Soto and Harper trying to take down their old team. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so the headline of this video is we're going back to the World Series. Sub-headline is, you're probably going to hear my daughter yelling in the background from 2 floors away. And by yelling, I mean squeaking like an infant. So that's fun. And I forgot to tell you guys, Aaron Nola's out for the year. He got injured on September 11th, 2029. He tore his meniscus. It was a 4-month injury. He was pitching okay once he came back. He made 20 starts. His FIP was 13% worse than the league average, and ERA was 6% worse than the league average. He was only striking out 6.7 guys per 9. He was giving up more home runs. I mean, certainly age is a concern. These last 2 years that I signed him for, kind of out of partially sentimentality and to have his contract line up to when Harper and Machado are done. It's just doing business the right way in here in Philadelphia. We like to take care of our players. It would have been smarter just to let the year play out and maybe sign him. He'd probably sign for way, way cheaper now because he's clearly fallen off. But, I think he might be able to come back and be usable for some of next year. We'll see. Hopefully he won't fall off a cliff this offseason. If so, we'll just try to bury him in the bullpen for 2 seasons at $13.5 million. So Valdez and Pache have both gone out. They're out for the rest of the postseason. Basically, they've gone out during the postseason here. So those are 2 big injuries. So we called up Jadon Richardson to be our center fielder because he's got a 70 range. When Pache went out, Valdez was playing second base, and Ford went out to center field. And then when Valdez went out, we moved Ford back to second and called up Richardson, who we got in a trade with Minnesota back in before this season. I thought I had him longer than that. Is that really all I've had him? Oh, that's right. This was the guy that I got back in 2027, and then I messed up with the Rule 5 draft. So I traded, I think I told you about this. I traded the guy that I would have DFA'd to them, Tommy DeLandry. So, yeah, so Richardson's here. He's in center. Not much of a bat, I don't think. But hopefully the range will help our defense. So how do we get here? Well, we beat the Nats 4-1. We shut them out the first 2 games. Rogers went 7 innings, and then Bender up and Shearing shut them down. We had a home run from Randolph. Pache had a double. And then game 2, we won 4-0 again. This was on the back of Carter Daniels, 7 innings, 1 hit, 10 Ks. Bender up and Shearing shut him down. Home run by Ford, another double by Pache. This was the game he got hurt in. 3-hit effort from Manny, a 2-hit effort from Ford. We won the next game 8-6. We had home runs from Valdez, doubles from Randolph, Ford, and Harper, a triple from Valdez, 2-hit efforts from Valdez, Harper, and Adames. And Maton did not pitch well. He went 2 1/3, 5 runs, and then Hearn, Mott, and Shearing came in and combined for the rest of the game, giving up just 4 hits and 1 run. And then the next game we got blown out. We lost 14-7 despite putting up a 5 spot in the first inning. Valdez had a grand slam in that first inning. We also got home runs from Culbertson, Ford, Harper. Adames had a double. 2-hit games from Soto, Culbertson, Valdez, and Ford. Karsten, our starting pitcher, got roughed up, and then our bullpen got roughed up too. Fox got hit around, Gray got hit around, Duvall got hit around. None of our aces pitched in this game, our ace bullpen arms. And then we finished them off in Game 5 in D.C. We won 6-3. Mike Anthony Valdez took down the MVP with the 2 homers, the 6 runs driven in, the 400 on base. Culbertson had a home run and a double in this game. Adames had a double and 2 hits. Harper with a 2-hit effort, Romo with a 2-hit effort. Rogers went 6 1/3, and then Shearing and Binderup, our two trade deadline acquisitions, came in and shut them down. Then we went on to face the Padres, of course, who led the league in wins this year, and we went down 2-0 and 3-2, neither of which was fun. We lost game 1 going into the bottom of the 9th. We were up 2-0, and then our guys Binderup and Shearing let us down after Maton gave us 7 1/3 shutout innings. Offensively, Randolph a double and a home run, Harper a double, Soto a double. Randolph with the only multi-hit game. Game 2, we again collapsed late. You can see we're in control here. And Shearing let us down. So Daniels gave us 4 1/3 and was okay. Hearn was a bridge guy to Shearing and pitched well, and then Shearing let us down. Romo and Adames went deep. Romo and Adames had doubles. So Adames and Romo and Soto with the 2-hit efforts in that game. The next game we bounced back. We won 5-3. Who pitched for us? It was Rogers. Oh, and he went out with an injury in this game. So we were down 2-0, and in the 3rd inning of game 3, our ace is pulled from the game with an injury. Luckily, it was a minor injury. Didn't miss any more time. Hearn and Ward both pitched well, and then Binderup got knocked around a little bit again, but we were able to win. Randolph with another home run. Machado with 2 doubles. Soto with a double. 3-hit games from Randolph and Machado. 2-hit game from our guy Culberson. And, yeah. So then game 4, we won 6-4. Mike Anthony Valdez went 2 for 4 with a home run and a double. Karsten went 5 2/3, 3 runs. Mott and Shearing both pitched well out of the pen. So Valdez with the double, the home run. Adames with the double. Machado with the triple. Culberson, Soto, and Valdez and Adames with the multi-hit games. This was the game Valdez got hurt in. No, he didn't. I'm sorry. That was a defensive substitution. So then the next game we lost 4-3. I don't think this was a bullpen problem. No, I mean, Duvall gave up a run, but Maton went 5 innings, struck out 10, but gave up 3 runs. This was the game that Valdez got his concussion in, and we did not have any home runs. Ford and Romo with doubles. Multi-hit game from only Soto, who still hadn't gone yard in the postseason. I'm not sure if he has at this point. So we went down 3-2. So we go back to Philly and we win this game 6-2. We went up 6-0 early. We gave up 2 runs in the 8th. The big hit was a 3-run homer by Harper off of Hernandez. Randolph also had a solo home run. Culberson and Adames went yard. 2-hit games from your boys Manny Machado and Bryce Harper out here still doing the thing. Carter Daniels, 4 2/3, 2 hits, 4 walks, no runs, 10 Ks. And he was at 88 pitches, got lifted for Hearn, who went 3 1/3, and then Fox and Binderup finished him off. This actually, it was 6-2, and this ended with Binderup striking out Tatis with the bases loaded in the 9th after Fox had hit 2 batters. So then game 7, we went up 7-0. They slowly chipped away, but we won 7-4. Randolph got series MVP. 310 average end on base, 3 home runs, 6 ribbies, 4 runs. Rogers went 6 2/3. I rode him pretty far into this game at 118 pitches. That's way further than normally guys go. Binderup and Shearing then closed it out. Ford had a home run. Machado and Randolph had doubles. Randolph and Richardson were the 2 multi-hit games. So now we go on to the White Sox, who are in their first World Series of the Sim. There's no Eloy or Luis Robert on this squad anymore. They had the 9th best offense according to runs in the AL. Runs allowed was 2nd. Their defense was 1st in efficiency and zone rating, also 1st in BABIP. So this is a team that's going to beat you. Wow, that was an unexpected cough. The granola bar that I was eating right before I came on, it just got a little piece was apparently in a tooth somewhere and just came and hit the back of my throat out of nowhere. So they're going to beat you with pitching and defense, it looks like. Their number 1 starter is Juan Cuba, out of the Dominican, minor league free agent signing from 2022. He put up a 3.11 ERA this year. Hamro, who was their first-round pick, 35th overall in, what year was that? 2023. Fayel, first-round pick in 2026. And this guy, Aldegari, who they signed as a free agent in 2029. They've got Danny Lehman is the #1 prospect in baseball. They're the first overall pick in 2028. And you can see he's a beast. He's in the bullpen. Keegan Aiken, Oriole legend, in the bullpen. Jimmy Lewis is their closer, who they got from the Dodgers in 2025. And the Dodgers took him in the second round of the real-life 2019 draft. Lineups, their top WAR guy is Josh Kelly, who they picked in the first round, 6 overall in 2025. Looks like a Gold Glove caliber shortstop who has a pretty good bat. Here's is it Marcano or Marcano? He's a real-life Padres prospect. He only played in 75 games. Maybe he was hurt. Oh, sorry. He got traded this year. Oh, that's right. They traded. It was like a 1-for-1 baseball player trade in July between 2 contending teams, a second baseman for a starting pitcher. He's a good player. And then, of course, they've got Acuna Jr., who they signed as a free agent. He missed some time this year, but he started in 109 games and put up 3.8 WAR and a 133 WRC plus. So I think any team that has like one of the best pitching staffs in the league and the best defense in the league, they're a threat. They're a threat. They're going to be a tough out, I think. They beat the Astros to get here. You can see the Astros down the Orioles, the Sox down the Sox. Padres swept the Mets, and then we beat the Nats 4-1. And so here we are. Phillies, White Sox. I'm sure MLB is glad that there are 2 big markets in this World Series, and we're going to go and try to do the thing. Rogers won't be available till Game 3, I think, with how tired he is. Yeah, Game 3, I think, he'll be available for us. So we'll go Maton, and then Daniels, and then Rogers, and then Karsten, and then if it goes 5, 6, and 7, again, back to Maton, Daniels, and then Rogers in Game 7, like we did against San Diego. So, all right, let's see if we can do it. Can we get our 4th championship in 5 seasons? Well, folks, we did it. 4th World Series in 5 years. 7 games. An 8-7 thriller in Game 7, man. That one will be on ESPN Classic like tomorrow. So Game 1, we crushed them. 10-2. Manny with a 3-run homer in the first. Culbertson with a 2-run homer in the second. Ford cleared the bases with a double in the 4th. Any other home runs that game? I don't think so. No. Okay. And then Maton went 7 1/3. Our guy Ward came in and gave us an inning and 2/3. And then we went up 5-3 in the second game. We did that off a 3-run homer by Ford, a solo homer by Adames, and a solo homer by Romo. Karsten went 6 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. Shearing and Binder up finished it off for us, the classic combo. Next game we lost 6-5. We had home runs from Randolph and Soto, and a 3-hit game from Manny, a 2-hit game from Romo. Rogers went 5 2/3 and gave up 5 runs, but not the standard Rogers that we were hoping for, expecting. Next game went 14 innings and we lost 3-2. On the offensive side of things, Culbertson had a home run for us. He went 4 for 6. Nobody else. We had 6 hits as a team, and he had 4 of them. Daniels went 5 solid innings for us, and then the bullpen was good. I mean, Binder up went 2 1/3, giving up a run, and Duvall ended up giving up a run in the 14th. And then we lost the next game 4-3. Shearing gave up a solo home run to Varsho in the 8th. Maton went 5 1/3, decent 3 runs. Soto had a 2-run homer for us. Culbertson had a double. Adames had a 2-hit game. So our backs were against the wall, and we fought back. We were down 2-0 after 5 in Game 6 in Philly. But Caleb Ford answered with a 2-run homer, and then Soto with an RBI single in the 7th. Ford had 2 hits. Soto had 2 hits. Culbertson, another 2-hit game. Home runs already covered. I did an opener in this game. I decided Gray gave us the opener, and then Carson came in and went 3 2/3, and then Hearn pitched 2/3 inning, and then Binder up through 2 1/3 and struck out 6 with 1 hit, which pretty much left him unable to be used in Game 7. I mean, I guess I could have. I think his stamina or his energy was at like 40%. So this was a game, man. We went up 4-0 in the first. So let me just show you some of this. So we went up 4-0 in the first. We had a triple from Randolph. We had a single from Culbertson driving around, a 2-run homer from Ford. So we went up 4-0. And then Rogers kind of stalled out here, man. It's kind of my fault. Rogers went 6 innings and gave up 7 runs. 2 of those were inherited runners that came around in the 7th after the first 2 guys got on. I probably should have pulled him. I just have so much faith in him as our ace. So let's see. So it was 4-2, and then they went up 5-4. And then in the bottom of the sixth, Randolph put us back on top. We scored 3 runs, and we went back on top 7-5 at this point. Then they tied it up 7-7. And and the one, actually, I got this wrong. So it was 5-4. The tie came on Ed Mealum, the rookie. I pinch hit him in the 6th for Richardson because he's a much better hitter with men on 2nd and 3rd, and he drove in a run to tie the game. And then Randolph had a 2 RBI single to give us the lead, but then they came right back in the 7th and tied it up. But then in the 8th, Nate Culbertson, World Series MVP, had an RBI single, and your Phillies are World Series champs for the 4th time in 5 years. And we're going to make it 5 out of 6 next year. No, we'll be in the hunt. We'll be good enough to try to. But so another successful year in Philly. The Bryce, Manny, Juan dynasty, Trevor Rogers, Aaron Nola. That's becoming like Caleb Ford, Nate Culbertson. We're here, man. We're here for another season or 2 seasons in this sim. You can see Harper has 2 years left. Manny has 2 years left. Nola has 2 years left. At that time, we will ride into the sunset. Hopefully, we can win another 2 championships. I think 2's pushing it, but I think Harper, Machado, Rogers, guys like that, Soto have enough left in the tank for 1 more. And Soto does have an opt-out after this year. We'll see what he does. I don't know. He hasn't been outstanding, like I was saying, but he can probably get a longer contract on the open market. So next video, we'll get into the offseason planning and all that stuff and how we're going to defend this championship. And yeah, we did it again. Nate Culbertson, your World Series MVP. Did he win? Oh, he won the World Series MVP in 2027 as well. Is that the year I called him up? Yeah, I called him up during that season. He came with so 2nd World Series MVP in 3 years for the young Culbertson. He's going to make a boatload of money soon. He's also going to be our first baseman next year, probably, instead of our DH. But we'll get to all that. It's time to enjoy the win. Celebrate. Go, Philly. Please go build a statue for me. You can put it next to the Rocky statue or in place of. I'll let you guys decide. I don't want to assume too much, be too presumptuous or full of myself, but I do expect a statue. Talk to you guys next video.